your past, you look at all sorts of things, you think that you're not qualified. God sees inside. He sees your heart. Okay? He sees the finished product. Okay? He can see the finished product. My second point this evening is that the Beatitudes shape their hearts. Jesus knew that their personalities need to be reshaped. The Beatitudes were a spiritual lesson used to train his disciples. If you've never read it, the Beatitudes starts in Matthew chapter 5, verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Peter needed humility. His boldness could easily become pride. So Jesus taught him how to depend on God. Blessed are those that mourn. The disciples will spend time mourning their failures, their sins, and the brokenness of the world. Peter shed tears after denying Jesus. His conviction opened the door to his restoration. Blessed are the meek. James and John wanted a promotion. They asked for seats of power. Jesus reminded them that true greatness is found in gentleness and surrender. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Matthew had once hungered for money. Now he was called to hunger for God's kingdom. Blessed are the merciful. Thomas doubted, but once convinced, he would extend grace to others who wrestled with belief. When the apostles faced their enemies, they needed mercy, not revenge. Blessed are the pure in heart. During Jesus' ministry on earth, the Pharisees were all about showmanship instead of substance. Jesus taught the disciples how to serve with sincerity. Blessed are the peacemakers. Simon the Zealot once wanted to fight Rome. Take an army into Rome and fight Rome. Jesus told him, bring peace through the gospel. Blessed are those persecuted for righteousness' sake. Every one of them would face hardship. James was the first to be martyred. Peter was crucified. John was exiled. Jesus was preparing them to endure persecution for following him. This is what I want you to think about. Jesus knew what he was going to go through. He knew that his disciples were going to suffer some of the same persecution. He taught them how to endure. And guess what? We need those same personality traits that Jesus taught them if we're going to endure. Because as God's children, we're going to be persecuted also. My final point is the same Beatitudes shape us today. Just like the disciples, we each have different personalities. Some of us are bold, some cautious, some emotional, some logical. Jesus doesn't call us to be copies of one another. He calls us to be transformed by his Spirit. The Beatitudes reminds us that the Christian life is not about outward success, inward transformation, humility, mercy, purity, and perseverance. The disciples lived out these Beatitudes in Acts and beyond. They became living examples of Christ's teaching. This is what I want to say to you today. Where do you see yourself in the disciples? Think about the disciples. He asked each one of them to drop what they were doing and follow him. You don't think those men had some other priorities that they wanted to attend to when Jesus came along? Like us today, some of us we saving money to send our kids to college, or maybe it's something we want to purchase, or maybe we don't have the time because we want to dedicate our time to some organization, or there's just other priorities that we want to do when Jesus called. Let me tell you, I hope this helps somebody. When he calls you, go. Regardless of what you have going on in your life, go. Because you may feel like I don't have what it takes, I don't have the education, I don't have the speaking ability, I got this going on, I got that going on. I am here to tell you, please believe me, he will give you everything that you need to be successful. If he calls you, he's going to give you what you need. I have another question for you. Which beatitude do you need to embrace today? Now, I'm going to answer that question for myself. That's a question that I'm asking you to think about. Amen. When I think about that question, the beatitude that I need to embrace the most is humility, being humble. Because what I found in the scriptures, what I found is that what humility means is being totally dependent on God. Not leaning on my own understanding, leaning on God. for everything. He will supply all of your needs. That's what I need. I need to be humble. I'm going to tell you, me and Sister Durham, boy, we like to debate in Sunday school class. Where she sit at, I don't even see her. We like to go back and forth. One of our favorite scriptures, 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. If my people who are called by my name, humble themselves, seek my face in prayer, and turn from their wicked ways, then, and only then, will I hear from heaven. I take the Bible for what it says, literally. I just think that if you don't humble yourself, he can't hear from you. We're going to make it plain and simple. Is that plain and simple enough? You don't humble yourself, he ain't going to hear you. If you want God to work in your life, humble yourself. I need him to work in my life. I can't do nothing without him. In closing, I want you to think about how Jesus took ordinary, flawed men who had issues with their tempers. Some of them were timid. Some of them were stubborn. Some of them had doubting personalities, and made them apostles of his kingdom. The Beatitudes was his tool to form their hearts. Amen. He wants to do the same thing for us. He wants to take our